Listen, I don't mind Lakers going all in. If tomorrow you told me, let me take this from Rob Pelinka's perspective here for a quick second. Let me see one more here. Windhorse just said that the Lakers are not ready to trade first round picks. I don't believe that. I believe that's all posturing and positioning, all of it. I believe you're supposed to say that. But let me play this real quick from Rob Pelinka's perspective, and then I'll get back to some of these comments here. So, my main point from that article was you better accommodate to Anthony Davis, because the last thing you want is, last year Anthony Davis in the playoffs is talking about his head coach. He's saying, yeah, I don't know what we're doing on both sides of the floor. This year, he's clearly telling you, here's what I need if you want me to be at my best. And if we're going to take this team where every Laker fan is hoping that they go, which is a true run. Nobody's guaranteeing a championship or anything. Nobody's saying. I'm just saying that you just want to be a threat, and then we'll see what happens. They won't be one of the favorites unless there's, a big time trade that the Lakers make, which is probably not likely. Let me explain Rob Pelinka's position and his perspective here. Okay. I do think that articles like this coming out does not help Rob Pelinka in his negotiation. It's not going to help him. I do think that Rob Pelinka has watched this Lakers team, and if we were doing this show Monday morning, last Monday, and Lakers had just lost to the Clippers, and their record team's below 500, they hadn't beat the Boston Celtics yet. They've looked, they almost lost that game to the Brooklyn Nets. They only won by 1. I'm sure there's moments where Rob Pelinka is saying to himself, I don't want to waste any more assets on this team. I can't. My job is to make sure that this team is constructed properly for the present and the future, but my job is also to be responsible. And has this Lakers team given Rob Pelinka enough reason and incentive to say, 2 first-rounders, I don't care, whatever it takes, we're trying to win right now? A lot of people would make an argument that no, that they're not making, the Lakers have not made that case in order for him to be ultra aggressive. But here's the problem with Rob Pelinka. Here's the issue that I have with Rob. The issue I have with Rob is you already traded for Dorian Finney-Smith. So clearly your mindset is not to be sellers, and your mindset is to still try to compete with LeBron and AD. You got these 2 first-rounders that you've had for, you had 3 first-rounders this summer. You used Dalton Connect on one of them. Nice to see Dalton connected some shots yesterday. Hopefully that helps him. But you've been saying now for a year and a half, you got these first-rounders that you're going to be shopping around. You're still holding on to them. Sometimes you just don't have a choice. Sometimes the market is what it is. If you wanted to buy a home in the last 5 years and you sat back like your man here and did nothing, and you keep saying, well, the prices are too high. Okay, that's fine. The prices are too high. But do you know that the prices are going to go down? Is something happening in the world where you feel like, okay, yeah, but I got a feeling that because of this and because of that and because of this, prices will eventually start dropping. Okay, well, they haven't dropped. So that means you either are going to buy a home and pay what the market value is, or you're going to keep renting. Rob Pelinka is like playing this game within the market, saying, now that price is too high for that player. Well, I don't know if the price is too high for that player. That might just be the price. And I don't know if that price is going to change. There was an article yesterday. I'm going to give you guys, this is a perfect segue. There was an article yesterday. Asking price for Jazz's Walker Kessler is really high. Okay? Shams had put this out. It was First Take. He said, that team that they had won the championship 2019-20, how do you get back to that model? That's including fighting a center. The Lakers have been active in that trade market to go find a center in the marketplace. Every time they call on Walker Kessler in Utah, that asking price is really high, so that front office is trying to make calls and doing its due diligence. But at the end of the day, it takes 2 teams to tango, and they have not been able to find deals as of yet. Guys, I don't know what you want me to tell you. You've been promoting for a year and a half that you got these first rounders. You let the world know that you're open for business. And then here you are a year and a half later, and you still haven't made a move. the price just might be what it is. Now, they got a little bit of time, under 2 weeks now left before the trade deadline. I'm not encouraging the Lakers to be irresponsible, but what I'm encouraging the Lakers to do, go get a big. Sometimes you just got to go make a move. Sometimes you just got to go get it done. If we're sitting here 2 weeks from now, February 7th, 2 weeks from now is February 7th. If we're sitting here on February 7th and the Lakers did not improve and they did not go get a big, you know what my concern is there? That Anthony Davis has less confidence in the front office. Clearly, LeBron, we already know, would have less confidence in the front office. That Laker fans would have less confidence in the front office. And that, Rob Pelinka would be sitting there holding those first-round picks and wasting really probably the last opportunity to go make a run. Got to do one or the other. You can't stand in the middle. I do think Pelinka will eventually make a move, and he's probably going to have to overpay. But that's the price of doing business. And if you don't want to pay fair market price, then don't tell everybody that you're going to go out there and improve the roster and use your first rounders. And a year and a half later, you're still holding on to your first rounders. All right, let's keep going here. You know what I deserve right now? I deserve a cup of coffee. A sip of my coffee. Such a weird position. Such a weird position to be in, because what he's trying to do is be responsible for the team. The problem is he kind of shot himself in the foot when he went out there. I think he felt all the pressure of, last offseason with a trade deadline, they don't make a move. And he probably felt the pressure of like, well, let me just hype everybody up that I got all these draft picks and I'm going to use them. Summer goes by. They make no moves. And then here they are now in a position where clearly, guys, if Anthony Davis doesn't come out with that quote, maybe I feel a little bit differently about this whole thing. Anthony Davis went out publicly yesterday with Shams and basically told him, here's exactly what I need. Why aren't I getting it? All right, let's see a couple of your comments here. Slee, what do you think of the Jazz? What do you think the Jazz asking for Kessler? Minimum, they're asking for a first rounder. Can I tell you what I would look at with Walker Kessler? Here's the question that I would ask. Do you think you could get a Walker Kessler type of player in the draft? Kind of like a 12 and 10 guy with a couple block shots a game. I think you got to just ask yourself. First rounders are so hit and miss. Second rounders are so hit and miss. Can you get a proven player that you feel like can be a part of the Lakers' future for the next 3-4 years? If you feel like you can, isn't that the weight of a first rounder? That's how I look at it. That's how I would look at it. Dorian Finney-Smith. Okay, Lakers gave up all those second rounders, D'Lo's expiring contract. I got to be honest. That's a good kind of haul for the Brooklyn Nets as well. They're not going anywhere. What do they care? They can go try to find a steal in the second round. They got the expiring contract of D'Angelo Russell. But it's what the Lakers need right now, and that's kind of the spot that they're in. All right, let me get a couple more in here. No money, no honey. I like that. That's the quote for Monday. No money, no honey. Rob has lied almost 3 years about how eager he was to use those picks. He's a greasy liar. Okay, Andre, come on. Calm down here. Come down. You sold us the timeshare. We all bought the timeshare. I don't think he's a greasy liar. I think he overpromised and underdelivered. I've told you guys this before. If there's anything you take out of today's show, take this. Always underpromise and overdeliver. Always underpromise and overdeliver. Tell you guys a quick story. It's a very random, but back like when I had first moved to LA, I would go drive down to San Diego over the weekends. I go spend some time with my parents. And I remember, like, I would tell my dad, if I was an hour away from getting home, I would tell my dad, hey, I'll be there in 45 minutes. So I'll tell him I'll be there in 30 minutes. I was telling him what he wanted to hear. And then when I get home, my dad would be like, what the hell? He'd be all frustrated. You said you're going to be here at 9:45. It's 10:30. So my cousin's like, Al, you're playing it all wrong. Tell him you're going to get there at 11, and then you'll be there at 10:30, and your dad's going to think you're a hero. I'm like, all right, that's it. I'm going with that strategy. Since then, I'm like, always under promise, over deliver. Rob Pelinka overpromised Laker fans, and he's under-delivering. What he should have always said, from the start was, I'm not going to promise anything. My job is to make sure that any move that we make is in the best interest of the organization, short-term and long-term. Of course, I'm keeping short-term in mind. And without saying, guys, I got 2 picks. Hey, I got 3 picks starting in the summer. I think he felt the pressure and just wanted to tell people what they wanted to hear. All right, let's get another one here. Let's see what else. Give them both first. Get Walker Kessler. It's that simple. Do it. Yeah, I think if you offered both first for Walker Kessler, Danny Ainge will privately fly Walker Kessler to LA. No, he'll drive him here. Listen, they still got time. I know in negotiations, usually putting some type of a deadline helps negotiations. And there's a deadline coming, and it's February 6th. Here's the good thing. By the time we get to February 6th, it's not like the Lakers season is going to crater. It's not like they're going to be in a position where, all of a sudden they're out of the playoff picture or something like that. I mean, in a weird way, they've kind of given themselves a little bit of a cushion. Some weird things have happened in the Western Conference that have worked to their advantage. They're in 5th place in the West. Dallas, we know their injuries. Minnesota, I don't know what the hell they are. They're all over the place. Sacramento finally got a loss, but they're obviously playing better basketball. Phoenix, what's going to happen with them? So they've at least put themselves in the position that over the next 2 weeks, the world's not going to end. And they got, these 6 home games. If they went, and I hope this doesn't happen, they go 3-3 in their next 6 home games or their next 6 road games. They go 3-3. Well, they still come back 6 games over 500 at the trade deadline. And, by then they're still in I think a decent position to, if they have improved their roster, Vando's now back in the lineup, they could start taking some steps forward. All right. If you enjoyed this clip and you want more, just subscribe to the channel. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the Sliwa Show. And then after every Lakers game, post-game show right here.